In this podcast episode, I have special guest Tristan Scroggins, and he's a Nashville-based mandolin player, one of the stars at the bluegrass scene. And I actually caught him being on the road here, being in LA. And one of the reasons why bringing him to the podcast at this point is I'm going to meet him here in about 6 weeks when he's touring in Sweden and also running a workshop. And the discussion today, we also want to leave you with some really good tips for how to getting the most out of workshops. I know in this community a lot of you players attend workshops, camps and all that, so we want to give you a few golden nuggets. So yes, without further ado, here is Tristan, and hope you're enjoying this episode. Hey there, music makers. I'm Magnus Zetterlund, and welcome to the Mandolin Secrets podcast. This is the place to get tips, inspiration, and stories that supports you on your musical journey. Thank you so much for tuning in, and just know you can go to mandolinsecrets.com/podcast for more information on how to keep up with the show and also find all previous episodes. Now, let's get this episode rolling. So, hello Tristan. How are you doing?
I'm doing I'm doing pretty well. I'm at the end of being on a little tour and
Nice.
a little frazzled, but but I'm glad to be here, glad to be talking to you.
Yeah, really glad you took your time even though you're on the road. I think it maybe even adds something to this episode, catching a professional in his on the tour. And did I get it right? You're on the West Coast at the moment
Yeah, I'm in Los Angeles right now.
in Los Angeles. Nice. Playing shows there, or what are you up to in
I'm
LA?
kind of a combination. Like I started this trip um in LA. I was playing with Alison Brown and Steve Martin for this
Mm?
show with
Oh,
Rhiannon Giddens, which was cool. And
nice.
then I went to Washington to play at a bluegrass festival with
Mm-hmm.
Missy Raines. And
The state of Washington, so still
mhm,
West Coast. Yeah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
went up there. And then I've been working on this podcast project to go along with an archival project that I'm doing um,
Wow.
about there was a newsletter in the 90s called Women in Bluegrass. And so
Mm-hmm.
I made a digital archive of those. And so me and my co-producer, Carolyn Kendrick, are re-interviewing a lot of those women. And so that's now I have a few days at the end of this tour to
Mm.
work on that project.
Yeah, you actually told me when I reached out that you brought some recording for the podcast and all that. So that's
Yeah.
women in bluegrass. From me being here in Sweden, not being too much into your tradition, is it like if I put it like this, do we need more efforts to highlight the women in bluegrass music?
Yeah, I think that one of the things that we've sort of seen through doing interviews and stuff
Mm-hmm.
um, is that some of it's cultural. Like when I go to Europe
Mm-hmm.
to teach or to play, there's definitely more women than there are in certain parts of the States. And I think that's because
Mm-hmm.
of cultural context and like expectations tied to like
Yeah.
roles.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so like in California, there's always been a lot more women playing bluegrass
Mm.
than in, say, Georgia or North Carolina, maybe just
Okay.
because what people, just the social expectations are different. But
Mm-hmm.
But then, so there's that, but then also on like a bigger level in terms of like recognizing women and uh both like in the moment in their accomplishments, but also like
Mm.
as women age, like making sure that they receive the same sort of respect and attention
Yeah,
that their
yeah.
counterparts do. And it's gotten a
Mm.
lot better over time, but there's
Mm.
still always it could always be better.
It's the same situation here, I would say.
Mm.
Like also, I mean, if you're going back uh, maybe 50 or 70 years,
Hmm.
almost no women were highlighted, even if they also carried a strong musical tradition, but
Hmm.
still, history is written by men, and
Yeah.
so it's been but I mean, especially women have been fighting hard to take the place and make space for it. But I also guess it's so necessary, and it's maybe even more powerful to see men involved in this in the movement of. I'm lacking a little bit like vocabulary to talk about this in
Yeah.
English, but I'm just glad to hear that you are carrying that torch, and because I mean it's a really important work for
Yeah.
hmm
I I feel lucky to get to, I don't know, work on it. I've always just been around a lot of like my when I played with my dad growing up, he always
yeah,
hired women, and so it never
nice.
seemed weird to me or anything.
hmm hmm
So it's been really nice to get to
Yeah.
like go around and like talk with people.
hmm
And my co-producer Carolyn is also really
mm
brilliant and
mm Yeah.
great
I'm
to work
looking
with her.
forward to see what that podcast will be like. I'm interested to learn more about that.
Yeah, I think it'll
Uh,
be fun.
yeah, and now that you mention it, maybe it's not a coincidence even that because I know about your few of your projects is also with Missy Baines, like a very
Hmm.
strong female character.
Yeah.
Um, and also with your other duo, you're playing with
Mhm.
the Rose.
That's right.
I forgot her first name, but
Alyssa.
Alisa Rose it is. But and just to tie this into our, because you mentioned how you being in Europe and you've been seeing
Mhm.
you've been like observing differences in the cultures maybe, but so the reason why I mean I'm like sort of seen your work, seen you listen to your music for well for decades, and but so the reason why we're coming here today is you are coming to visiting Sweden here in it's in a 1.5 month or so. We are recording
Yeah.
this podcast in late June, but and Tristan is coming here for Grenna Bluegrass Festival on the 16th of August.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Sweden before?
Yeah, I played Grenna one time with my dad actually, probably
Nice.
10 years ago.
Mm,
And
cool.
got to spend, that's the only time I've been to Sweden, but I spent
hmm
uh, some other time in um, like other Scandinavian countries.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, well, I would say like Grenna is probably it's at least the biggest one in Sweden, the biggest
Yeah.
festival. Almost the only festival that had some muscles to bring a US band. But
Yeah.
there are some Norwegian and Danish festivals also, even Finnish. But so
Never
you
been to
that's cool.
Finland. I'd love
Mm.
to go to Finland.
Yes, yeah. I'm actually spending my holidays there this summer
That's
later.
cool.
Yeah. But yeah, so you've been that's nice. And you will if you was there 10 years ago, if you were here, I mean you will it is the same like the hardcore crew, I think, from that were involved in the festival even back
Yeah.
then.
Yeah, I had a great time last
Hmm.
time. It was really interesting.
Hmm.
And like seeing kind of how many people went, but also I don't know. I've known like when the first time I came to Europe was
Hmm.
for EWOB
Hmm.
years and years ago when they had that still, although I think maybe they started doing it again. And we
Hmm.
met Dunderhead and
Yes.
uh,
Mikael and
yeah, and so I've known those
Ali.
guys
Mm.
for a long time,
Nice.
and um, so,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm looking forward to being back in Sweden.
Yes. Yeah. Well, there's a few things popping up to my mind here. First of all, I'm meeting Thunderhead and the guys next week because we have
Mm,
there's another bluegrass festival in Sweden called Torsåker Bluegrass
mm,
Festival, and they are one of the headliners there.
nice.
So it's next Saturday it is. But also for this like for the festival, you're also doing 3 days of workshops there, the
I
entire
am.
band, I guess, and you will be leading the mandolin workshops.
Yeah.
And I mean, since this community and the listeners to this podcast, it's like well filled of really like hungry, inspiring mandolin players,
Hmm.
and I know a lot of these players are attending camps, workshops, going to festivals this summer. Well, year around, of course, but more maybe focused here in the summertime. So I thought it would be nice now that you are here to talk a little bit and maybe give the our listeners a little like an idea for how they can prepare or how they can really get the most out of attending workshops. And I was like, I haven't talked about that earlier on, but now
Hmm.
that I started to think about it, I came up with a few ideas myself,
Yeah.
both from the perspective of leading workshops as I'm doing, but also now I'm going to attend your workshop, by the way, the 3-day workshop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Be-
I'll try to, hopefully I'll be informative.
Yeah, and I mean for me it's about I take every chance I can to be around well people
Yeah.
like you and well so and you know it's really rare that you can have a group of mandolin players like that in Sweden.
Yeah. Mm.
It happens well 2 times a year or so. And so, but that's actually something I wanted to ask you. Do you ever see a teacher or attend workshops or things like that nowadays?
Sometimes, well, maybe not exactly in the same way. I think that it kind of, when you were asking me about um, getting ready for workshops and stuff like that, I was
Hmm.
thinking about when I first started playing. I was pretty young, and
Hmm.
I went to some workshops, and then like making a transition to like starting to teach at workshops, now
Yes.
for the past
Yeah.
15 years or something. And
Yeah.
um, so I don't, it's not that I don't like go to camps as like, but if I'm somewhere teaching, I'll sit in on other people's classes. Usually
Hmm.
if it's like I taught at a camp a couple of years ago where Marla Fibish was also teaching. Marla's a great Irish style mandolin player,
Yeah.
and her and I sat in on each other's classes, and then we like
Hmm.
compared notes, um,
Wow.
which was nice because I've
Yeah.
always struggled with Irish. Like I love playing,
Hmm.
love listening to Irish music, but
Mm.
it never sounds right when I try to play, and we sort of figured out she felt the same way about bluegrass, and it was like
Mm.
where the emphasis is almost like completely opposite. So that was part of
Mm.
why we were
That's
having trouble.
interesting. Yeah.
But also other instruments, like if somebody else is teaching another instrument, I'll go to those. Like
Yes.
anytime I'm around Alan Mundy, I'll go to his banjo workshop and stuff. I think there's a lot to learn from how other instruments think about what they're doing.
Thank you so much for watching this highlight video. If you want to watch the entire episode, you can do it inside Mandolin Secrets Academy. Or you can also go to like your favorite podcast platform and listen to an audio version of this podcast episode. You can also go to our website to listen to the podcast. The web address is mandolinsecrets.com/podcast. And always remember, be a music maker.